What up, guys? I thought I'd do something a little different with this video. I saw this topic on a different website and I thought it'd be interesting to do a video about it. And it's kind of biggest like annoyances in the beers or whatever. Just like the biggest like issues you have with beers when you get it. Where you get it, you're just like, oh, why would you do that? And I wanted to get into just 5 of my kind of biggest irks or annoyances or whatever within the beer industry or just beer in general right now. And I know there's more. If I was to stop and think about it and kind of make notes, like, oh yeah, I hate that. That drives me crazy. But I wanted to focus on these 5, and so I got them written down right here. But these are in no particular order. They're just kind of things that I've found are kind of, I don't know, irk me or I don't get or whatever. I've done no research on this to find out why some of these are happening. But anyways, I'll get right into it. I do have, I'm finishing off my Kawaba Sunrise Ale out of Japan. And I just did that review, so go check out the review. Got a link to it below. But my first issue that I want to get into is the nitro bottles. The like the hard pour. You gotta kind of really force it down hard bottles. I know like left-handed brewing company has a lot of those. And there's other places with it. Like I just don't get. Why don't we use the cans? Why don't we use the nitro widget cans? It's like if you have between a Guinness stout in the bottle and a Guinness stout in the can. The can is so much better because it infuses it more completely with the nitrogen. With the force out bottle, you just gotta kind of hope with the force pushes the nitrogen into the glass, and it's kind of like a half-assed nitrogen thing where you get it and you get a little bit of the cream you had on it, and you kind of like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's not really how I'd want it. It doesn't taste like what you get it at the bar that actually has a nitrogen container. At least with like a Guinness, with the can, it tastes pretty much exactly the same. And I don't get it because it's not like Guinness is the only one that has the nitro widget. There's a whole bunch of other cans that have it. You have Boddington's Pub Ale. You can get that with the widget. You can get the Murphy's Irish Stout, which I actually like Murphy's better than Guinness. I don't know if that's sacrilegious to say, but you can get that with the widget. You have Bellhaven's Scottish Ale with the widget. That's a fantastic beer. You have Young's Double Chocolate Stout you can get with the widget can. That is probably one of my all-time favorite beers, is that one. I just don't, I don't know why we're using the can out of the bottle. I mean, especially the can is such like it's such a big thing. Back home in Michigan, there are bars that were kind of in the area that I was living that all the beers they would give is just nothing but cans. So they had like 60 different kinds of canned beers. They didn't have tap, they didn't have bottle. It's just here's your can. I don't get with how big cans are. Why are we doing the glass bottle nitrogen thing? This doesn't work. It sucks. It's a half-assed nitro thing. I'll have to find out if there's like a law. I don't know if the American companies can't do the widget because it screws up their recycling. I guess maybe that could be it because I think all the beers I listed are all from the UK, so excuse me. But I don't get it. I don't know why we're doing the glass nitro thing because it sucks. It doesn't work and it bugs me. So there's a rant on that. Next rant, also bottle related. Actually, a lot of my things are kind of just bottle and label related. Next is the clear bottle. That just pisses me off. That's like a company saying, we know you don't care about what your beer tastes like, we're going to put it in a clear glass bottle. Because we know any kind of light with this clear glass is going to screw with the taste and make it skunky. I mean, and so like any commercial you see with a beer company and they're trying to tout the quality of the beer, it's like, no, you don't give a rat's ass about the quality of your beer because you put it in a clear glass. If you cared about it, you'd at least put it in a a brown glass, not a clear glass. I mean, there's a reason why if you're looking at just Mexican beers, the best tasting Mexican beers all come in a brown bottle. Like Corona and Modelo, those both come in the clear bottles, and they suck ass. There's a reason why you gotta put a lime in the bottle. And now maybe you like Corona, whatever, and that's what you like, fine. But the other Mexican beers that come in a brown bottle, they taste better. Maybe you just haven't had the chance to taste those before. Like even like Indio and those ones, they don't cost that much more. But I think the brown bottle just saves it. So I don't understand the clear glass. I guess it kind of looks pretty. I mean, Corona does have a nice painted on label, so I do like that. And it looks better than the green bottle. The green bottle just looks disgusting. Like the Kingfisher out of India, the green bottle, it's just like, it is nothing about it. It looks like that looks good. It's like, no, it looks like I'd rather take a clear bottle because it's not stopping the light and it makes that beer look really disgusting. I don't know, clear bottles, that's like I always look at it, it's like, that's gonna taste skunky. I already know it. But I'm gonna run out of air with just the rants I'm going on right now. But alright, number 3 out of my 5 just biggest pet peeves that I could think of, it's the information that they put on the bottles. That you know, it just bothers me. I mean, most bottles will have the alcohol by volume on it. You know, you got it right here, 5% or whatever. Some states, they actually have rules for beers produced in that state. You're not allowed to put the ABV on the bottle. In Michigan, that at one point was a law. I don't know if it still is, but there's like a fear or something that, oh, if somebody sees this beer has 9% alcohol, they'll be more likely to get it because they want to get drunk. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, so what? At least then people know you're educating them. They know what they're getting into. So when you have 2 IPAs, you're not like, what is going on? You're like, oh, I just had 2 9% alcohol by volume beers. So, but the ABV is just kind of a small portion of the information on it. I think for how popular the IPA has become, that's a different rant and a different video altogether, but with how popular the IPA has become, I don't get why they don't put the IBUs on the bottle. I mean, if there's some people that they just want an ultra bitter IPA, that's what it's about. But so many places, I mean, the bottles, they don't put the IBUs on it. And it's like, why? I can get it if you're not putting it on like a lager or just something that's not overtly bitter. But when you're getting an IPA or a double IPA or whatever, I think you need to put that that information on it. That's very helpful. Like, I know this is a little bit different, but in Canada on the wines, there's a sweetness level like rating on it, and so you know how sweet the wine is before you get it, which is great if you don't want a super sugary wine to have one of those nasty wine hangovers the next day. It's just a little information. You're like, man, that's really helpful. I mean, I don't know anything about wine, so just having that is okay. I don't want to get that one. Same thing with IBUs. I don't get it. And kind of in the same general boat of the IPA thing is the born date. Certain beers have a set shelf life, especially with, you know, a lot of the fresh IPAs that has to be consumed in a set amount of time before it starts to lose its, you know, intended flavor and just fall off the cliff into Suckville. Even, you know, some, you know, there's IPAs that still suck when they taste how they're supposed to. But at least you know you're not getting something that's just, you know, didn't go bad. So I wish that they had the born dates on all beers. You know, there's some that do that. And it's not like it's that hard to do. I mean, it's just going down the assembly line, have something that's stamp. You know, like that old library thing or whatever. I don't know why that's such a problem. But, you know, whatever. I I just wish they put on the necessary information onto the label. That'd be very helpful. Alright, number 4, this is probably a smaller rant, but it's seasonal beers that aren't seasonal. Especially American companies, they're always putting out so many different seasonal beers. And these are, beers that are around for 2 months or whatever. 2 or 3 months and throughout the different holidays. And, but I found, especially recently, a lot of them, they're just IPAs. They're like IPAs that aren't good enough to make it into the full rotation. And like, we'll just call it a winter seasonal. It's like, no, this is not a winter beer, man. This is just an IPA that isn't as good as your normal IPA, and you're just putting it out there as a seasonal. No, like Christmas winter beers has certain spices and seasonings to it, or whatever. I mean, like for me, seasonals are Let's just start with the fall. You got your fall beers. You start to get into like the kind of the pumpkin-y kind of things, and that kind of merges into the Oktoberfest German style beers, and then from there you kind of start to move closer into the winter seasonals where you have the extra spice and the flavors of like the holidays. Like I love a beer where you open it up, you're like, this smells like Christmas. That to me is a Christmas seasonal or a winter seasonal. And you go there, and then that's good until the beginning of the year where you start getting your spring seasonals. And the spring is almost like a cross between the heavier IPAs or stouts or whatever, and the lighter wheat beers. You have that. It's a little not quite as bitter, and it's not quite to the the hot wheat beer kind of things. So you got that nice kind of thing going up, and then you get into the summer beers, which are very, you got your fruity things, you got your shandies, you got your wheat beers, and then you kind of, it's just lighter in the summer, and it just, gets heavier towards the winter holidays, and it keeps going. Some of these things, they just put out, here's an IPA, and we'll call it a seasonal. It's like, no. It's just a crappier version of your current IPA, and you don't know what to do with it. You can just label it as an IPA. Don't call it a seasonal thing, because, I don't know. That just bothers me. If I see a spring seasonal, I'm expecting a certain kind, whatever. It's like when you open up a Oktoberfest beer. You have specific... you generally know what you're going to get, and there'll be slight variations depending on who makes it. If you had that and it was like a super bitter IPA, you'd be like, this is not an Oktoberfest. This is you guys screwing around. But what are you gonna do? They do what they want, the companies. So whatever. All right, the last one I got for you guys right now. My most recent and biggest annoyance pet peeve is the wax bottle top without a way to get it open. That just do you not want me to drink your beer? Because this is like a sign that I shouldn't be drinking this. My battery's about to go out, so I gotta go. But yeah, I just had this Grand Canyon beer, dipped in wax, couldn't get it open. I was using my bottle opener to scrape it off for like 10 minutes. By the time I finally get it open, I realized it is the crappiest beer I've had in a long time. And I just reviewed Milwaukee's Best Ice. I would rather have that than the Grand Canyon coffee stout. That thing was terrible. I will probably never get anything from them ever again. Maybe the wax was just warning me, don't drink the beer, it's really bad. But I just don't get what's the deal with the wax bottle top? That without a pull thing. If you're gonna do it with wax and try to get it all fancy, give us a way to open it. We don't want to be clawing at it. That's just stupid. But alright, my camera battery's about to die. Those are my pet peeves. Let me know some of your beer, drinking, whatever pet peeves you got going on in there. And if we like this, maybe I'll do some more kind of rants and raves about beer and whatever else. But for now, for myself and my little rants and my beer and everything, and also remember, Boxing Day, December 26th, we're going to turn that into the big drinking holiday. It's going to be the next big drinking holiday after Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day. But mark it on your calendar now. Anyways, for myself and for all the other beers I'm drinking right now, take it easy.